Hi, I'm Brian Chase, Director of Digital Forensics here at Archer Hall. Today I'm going to talk to you about Fitbit data. Fitbit data has been used in a variety of cases. Law enforcement has used it to find suspects or rule out suspects based on their activity. In the personal injury sphere, it's been used to show that a plaintiff who was injured had a decrease in activity after the injury, or alternatively to show that by the defense that they had no decrease in activity. So I want to show you what kind of data Fitbit tracks and how you can download it and use it in your cases. So I have a Fitbit of myself. I'm going to show you my Fitbit account so that you can see the data that it stores. So here it is. This is my Fitbit dashboard. You go to fitbit.com, log in with the username and password, and you'll get this dashboard. The dashboard gives you an overview by day. So you can see here we're looking at today's date, which is May 21st. I can go to yesterday and see my activity. It tracks all sorts of things. Some of these are done by the watch itself. Some are done by the user. For example, putting in the weight, that's user generated. I don't put in the weight, it just has one in there. I don't put in food, so it doesn't do the calorie count correctly. I don't put in water usage. So those kind of things have to be put in by the user. Fitbit doesn't know how much you had to eat or how much water you had to drink. But things like step counts, they do know. So you can see here, it said I reached 71% of the 10,000 step goal. And if I kind of hover over it, it might tell me a little bit more here. If I go over here, there we go. You can see it switched it to 7,000 steps, the amount of calories I burned, the number of floors I climbed. That's the kind of data that Fitbit's tracking. Also tracks things like heart rate, shows you the movements here. You can see the amount of time walking. Obviously, my activity is a little low now in the time of coronavirus. But let me show you, if you want to get this data, show you how you can download it. So this is the dashboard. You can't really download much from here, but it gives you an overview of the kind of activity on the device. If I go over here to the top right into settings, I can get into the settings for my account where I can download the data. So here's a bunch of settings. My email address is in there. Go down over here to data export, and then you have the data here. So you can pick what you want to download. I can pick if I want this week, this month, or a custom range, and I can put in the dates. I can download it in a CSV format or in Excel. And a CSV file is something you probably would open with Excel, but you can download it there. You can request all of your data here. So you could click request data and you'll be alerted when your data is available for download. Once you have the data, you can view it in Excel. You can do things like charting it, make graphs to show what activity is, what normal activity looks like. You could even do it by day to show what normal activity is Monday through Friday versus on a weekend. There's a lot of insights you can pull from this data. You could also go really in depth and look at it by hour feature. So if you want to see, was somebody moving around at a particular date and time, you could use the Fitbit data to try to come up with an answer to that question. The only caution I'll give you here about downloading the data is make sure you still have a witness to authenticate the data at trial and lay the proper foundation. If you do it yourself for your case, you are potentially becoming a witness in your own case, and obviously that's problematic. You could have your client go in and download their own data, but then they might need to testify. And depending on the kind of case, you might not want them to testify. The last thing you need to consider is whether or not you need an expert witness to talk about this kind of data. While the data is pretty self-explanatory, and I believe the average juror is going to be able to understand it, there might still be other questions, like what's the error rate of the data? Is this data very accurate? Is it 99% accurate, or is it 75% accurate? That might make a big difference in your case, depending on what it is you're looking for. So those are some considerations you're going to have when downloading this data. But once you download it, you've got it in a nice format, an Excel file or a CSV file. You can produce it to the other side for disclosure. You can make those graphs. You can make exhibits. Do all sorts of things with this data to make it nice visual representation for the jury so that you can show the activity that you want to highlight in your case. I hope you found this information helpful. And certainly if you have any Fitbit data in your case and you need some assistance acquiring the data or you need testimony about the data, feel free to give us a call. We'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.